Hello, welcome. How's everybody doing? My name is Rob. Nice to have you here. Can you hear me? Excuse me. Want to make sure everybody can hear me? Uh-oh, this is not a good start. My voice is acting up. My name is Rob. Welcome to my weekly live stream. Yes, you can hear me. Thank you, Jennifer. How's everybody's week doing? How's it going? What's new? How are the videos going? Has anybody been live streaming? So I got a couple things, just housekeeping things to say right off the top. And I will say, though, that this live stream will be a little bit different than what I had been doing most recently. I'm going to actually do a demonstration pretty much right off the top. Just give me 5 minutes to go through a couple things. And I want to show you guys a couple of very simple tips that can help you level up your video editing. All right, but before I get into that, just a reminder for anybody who hasn't or anybody who is interested, I've got a free YouTube Kickstart kit down below that you can click to download. It's a 15-page kind of a guide that you can follow. If you haven't started your YouTube journey yet, that'll get you going. Okay, so there's that. I've got Creators Cove, a free community you can join of over 40 beginner YouTubers. We're chatting in there, helping each other out. There's a link to join that below. What else do I got? Live streaming made easy. All right, so there's 1 week left. If anybody wants to join, or if anybody is interested in the live streaming course that I created a few weeks ago, There's 1 week left at the current price. And also it's early access phase. And what that means is anybody who joins now before the end of September, so that's what, that's a week from today, I think. I'm still taking suggestions for additional videos to add to that program. It started with 9. I've got 9 additional ones that I'm working on based on the recommendations from the people who are taking the program right now. Okay, so there's that. It comes with 6 months of check-in calls, 6 monthly check-in calls where we all get together and again, help each other out, Q&A session, stuff like that. So anybody who's interested in that, link to that is below as well. What else? Yeah, I haven't come out with a video since when? Last Thursday or Friday. And I'm not sure when the next one will be out. So doing a little bit of a reset here, probably within the next before the end of this week, more than likely. If not, it'll be Monday. So that's pretty much what's going on here. Yeah, so why don't well, actually, let me just very quickly see who is in the chat here before it's 2:06 now, so in the next, by 2:15, I'm going to get into, so 1:15 Eastern time. In another, what is that, 9 minutes from now, I'll get into the editing demonstration. All right, so a little bit of structure here. I'm going to try to see how that goes. Now let's just see who's here. We've got Angela here. Welcome, Angela. Chris is here. Welcome. Silver Lining Life is here. We've got Garth. How you doing? Always in the bushes, just listening. Really good to all the details. Very good. Silver Lining Life, here's a question. I just got an email about auto dubbing coming to my channel soon and that you can turn it off if you don't want it. Why would you want to? Why would you want to turn it off? I don't know. I guess, so what the auto dubbing is your videos will be automatically transcribed and then the transcriptions will be automatically translated to other languages. And then YouTube is going to put AI voices to those other languages. Not only that, but so that in itself is enough to creep some people out. They just don't like, so its first iteration of that, if you were, let's say, if you were to watch one of my videos in Portuguese, so I don't speak Portuguese, but there was an AI voice in Portuguese that you would be listening to, but that voice wouldn't be synced with my mouth. My mouth is still moving as if I'm speaking English, okay? That was the first iteration, but what they're coming out with now is they're going to change my mouth, so it's actually moving like it looks like I'm speaking Portuguese, okay? That's either coming or it's here or it's very close to being here. That's one of the new things coming out with YouTube. Incidentally, before I forget, that's likely the next topic of a topic for my next video is I'm going to be going over all the new things that are coming out on YouTube. I've seen lots of videos on this. I have some of my favorites, and I just want to give you my spin on them, which ones I think are cool, are awesome, and which ones I think are a waste of time. Okay, so anyways, why would you not want to? I guess the number one thing is some people are a little bit creeped out by the whole AI thing, you know, automatically changing your face so that it looks like you're speaking a language you're not. Okay, some people just don't like that. But you know what? It's a way to reach a wider audience. Okay, so you're going to have people on both sides of that fence. Some people are going to want to do it, take advantage of it. Some people are not. So YouTube is going to give you the choice. All right, so that's what that is. All right, Adventure with Me, how you doing? Good to see you here. Jennifer Ellis, my channel's at a snail's pace. I'm working on taking it in a different direction. Hopefully that will help. Fingers crossed. You know what? That's all you can do. And full transparency, my channel has not been doing well either the last, I'm going to say 2-3 weeks. Okay, views have come down, but I'm not too concerned about it. That's just, I mean, what you're supposed to do with YouTube, once again, nobody has all the answers as to how this works. And the way things work changes over time, whether there's small changes to the algorithm or there's small changes in viewers' habits and how they watch videos and what they want to watch, what kinds of videos they want to watch, what they want to watch it on, a computer, a TV, whatever, right? Things are changing all the time. And because of that, you can never get too comfortable with the way you make your videos and the types of videos you make. You always have to try new things. So I'm going to be trying something new as well, like just every once in a while. Maybe it's a shorter video, maybe it's a longer one, maybe it's in a different location, maybe it's a slightly different topic, but still, you know, concentrate on your viewers. What do you think they want to see from you next? Things like that. All right, so don't be too worried about it. Just it's all part of the game. Hello to all the pets and cats, including Peanut. Yeah, Peanut is right back there. You can see right there. All right. It feels as if my sub count crawls when trying to reach a goal. Yeah, it can feel that way sometimes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally get it. It's still quiet here today. In Belgium or here in the chat? Maybe in the chat. Actually, yeah, there's fewer people here than normal. 84 people here. But hey, that means more chance that I get to answer your question, right? There you go. All right, who else we got in here? Bill's here. Morning, Bill. Scott Alda's here. How you doing? My Moonjaro journey question. How do I put a poll? Oh, poll. Okay, P-O-L-L, a poll on my videos. A poll on your videos? You can put a poll in a community post, right? Or you can put a poll in a live stream, okay, like in the live chat of the live stream. I didn't do it this week, but I could put a poll in there. But in a video, can you even put a poll in a video? That's not something I've done. I don't know that you can do that. A video is a video. Maybe you can in the comments. In the comments of a video. Let me just quickly see if that's Rob. And we'll go here. And let's just say, oh, pause that. Sorry, you guys can't see what I'm doing here. Now you can. Okay, I just went to one of my videos as if I was going to type a comment, and there's nothing here that suggests I can type a poll or put a poll in here. So yeah, no, I don't believe that's something that you can do unless I'm missing something. If anybody else wants to add to that, feel free. All right, what do we got? A few more minutes. Andy's here. How you doing, Andy? Mike, how are you, Mike? Rosannia's here. Hello. Debbie Sue, how you doing, Debbie? Angela. Let's see, living in Alaska. Welcome. Okay, my RV channel is close to getting monetized. I'm already thinking of starting another for new resellers. Do you think a non-monetized channel can do okay with affiliate links or brand deals? Well, the monetization side of it doesn't matter. It's more the size of your channel. And in my experience, brand deals, companies who want to do brand deals typically look at how large your channel is, and rightly or wrongly, that typically means they look at your number of subscribers that you have. But the most important thing is how many views your videos get. So, you know, unless it's thousands and thousands of views, they're probably not, it's going to be hard to get a brand deal. Affiliate sales, you can start that at any time. I guess my experience with that is I didn't earn a whole lot from that until I got monetized in my YouTube channel anyways, just because of the traffic volume isn't there to support it. But you can certainly set that up at any time, whether you're monetized or not. It's kind of totally unrelated. All right, so I hope that helps you out. All right, if you seek Amy, oh my goodness, I had one of my 3 channels crash and burn last week. I went from getting 600 views in 48 hours to 6 views. Okay, yeah, that's concerning. At first glance, that's concerning. I wouldn't worry about it too much, just as I was saying earlier. Things kind of go up and down, and I've actually been hearing a lot of people saying views are down for them, so it might be a YouTube-wide thing. But again, just try new things with your next video. Don't ever get too comfortable on the way you make videos, right? Because what works changes all the time. All the time. All right, Angela just said, I'm just looking at the current chat now. This one over here in Ecamm is, I've got that, it's a little bit delayed. But I see a question from Angela. What's the best live stream, vertical or horizontal? Totally depends on your audience and who you're trying to reach and what types of videos you normally make. If you normally make vertical shorts, live stream is a vertical video. I've actually never live streamed vertically. but I think I'm going to. Why not? There's an example of something new I'm going to try. Maybe I'll do that this week. I'll do a vertical live stream. I'll go outside and do that somewhere. Just to see, right? So if I were you, I would do both, right? Just try them both, see what works best. And ask your audience too, when you go live, if you have people in the chat, hey, would you rather me do it this way or do you want me to do it vertically, right? Because ultimately, if all your questions are geared towards how do I grow my channel faster, then what you really need to ask is, what would my audience want? That's it. Whatever question that's popping into your head, just kind of turn it around and try to figure out, well, what would my audience want? Right? And if you don't know, you can ask them or you can test it on them. Test different ways. All right. So there you go. Great answer. No problem. Thank you for holding this live. This is great. Thrive with Julie. Hello, Julie. Good to see you. Catherine's here. How you doing, Catherine? Good to see you. Anaholics is here. If your channel is about large villas and you have 10 subscribers, but half of them buy a house every week from your advertisers, then sure, you will do just fine. Okay, I think that was a tongue-in-cheek comment. Kathy gets it together, just started posting shorts of my corgi, and he is blowing up on YouTube. People love pets, eh? Me, on the other hand, I'm still struggling to get more than 3 views. Yeah, well, there's a lesson for you. Don't ever try to compete with your pets, because your pets will win every time. Why haven't I started a channel for Peanut? I don't know. I probably should. Perhaps I'm a little busy. Hey, Steve Brocky, how you doing? Good to see you here. So yeah, nobody watched from desktop for now. That's funny. Yeah, I believe desktop views are going down for a lot of people. That's how I watch most of my videos, on a desktop. So I guess I'm weird. I'm abnormal. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Robin Buchanan, I love me a corgi. Cute. Very good. Hi, Steve. Got any chips? Love the first half. We'll finish watching shortly. Oh, Steve, did you put out a new video? I haven't seen it. I'm doing the opposite bit. Same, Rob. I always record vertically, and I'm just now starting occasional horizontal filming. Very good. Awesome. One thing I will say is, no matter how you record, if you make a video, whether it's vertical, horizontal, whatever, and then you decide later to repurpose maybe a portion of that video in another format, okay, it is a lot easier to repurpose a horizontal video into a vertical video because, let's say I make a long form video, 10-minute long video, and I decide, you know what, there's a good solid minute in there. I can turn that into a short. Well, that's very easy to do. I just set up a new project and bring that in, and I just chop off the sides of the horizontal video and it just keep what's in the middle. Very easy. It's a lot harder to go the other way. So if you make a vertical video, more often than not, like let's say it's of yourself, more often than not, you're pretty much filling most of the vertical space in that vertical video, unless you've got really, really long arms or you're standing way back. Okay, but if you're holding your phone, let's say, then you're going to be filling up most of the screen. Then if you wanted to make that into a horizontal video, you're going to have to chop off a lot of the top and bottom to get your 16:9 ratio, and then maybe move that up to only capture your face, and your face is going to be the whole thing. So just keep that in mind. If you want to make a video that you want it to be both, maybe film in horizontal. I think you'd have a much easier time converting that to vertical. Hey, Chappie. Chappie's here. How you doing, Chappie? Good to see you. Anaholics, I'm a desktop viewer, but my desktop is the size of a small TV. Awesome. I'm 4 minutes over already. All right. I'm going to switch gears a little bit, and I'm going to show you a couple of tips in video editing. All right. So let me share my screen. I'm going to share my screen here. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I will address them either as I go or at the end. So also, what I'm about to show you is in Camtasia, but what I'm mostly going to be talking about concepts. Okay, so what I do here, you can do in whatever video editing program you want. I'm not going to get into specifics. So like on Camtasia, to split a clip, you have to press the letter S, right? Like that would be different depending on which program you use. All right, but splitting a clip, there's a way to do that in whatever program you use. All right. So there you go. That said, let's go real simple and real quick. This is my Finder window. I'm going to drag, there's a video there. So this file is just my project file. This is a video file I shot, and it's the last video I made, like last week. And this is the audio file captured by the DJI mic. And I have it separated because I did some audio processing to that. So let's bring both of these in. Bring the movie file in. You can just click and drag them in here like this. Okay, now they're both in here. They automatically populated up here. Now, this is the video one. To make this easier for everyone to understand, I'm going to put the audio, the good audio, on the bottom. Okay, now most of you might say, well, the audio is always on the bottom, right? Well, it is in most video editors. Camtasia, you actually have the option of moving stuff around vertically. You can have audio files above video files, and you can make it a real mess if you wanted to. but most other video editing programs, all the audio is at the bottom and the video is on the top. And for one of the things I want to demonstrate, because of what it's called, I want to stack this properly. Audio on the bottom. Okay. Now what I want to do first is I want to sync these two things up. Let me just drag that there to help. If you look at this timeline, you can kind of tell that, like, from here all the way up to here, I was speaking fairly regularly, and you can tell by looking at the audio waveforms here. Whenever you have spaces in between here, that's when I did like a false start and I didn't like what I did, so I started over. Okay, so just by looking at this, I bet you right here is probably the beginning of my good take. Okay, right there on the top one. But first things first, I want to sync these up. So let's start zooming in, and all you have to do is you line up the audio waveforms like this. Let me just drag this in a little bit so they don't snap together. And you zoom way in, and you just play it until you don't hear an echo. Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but it's... Okay, there's an echo there, so they're not perfectly lined up. I can zoom in even more to see. Oh yeah, you can see here, this needs to be brought back. Probably there. It never snaps exactly where you think it should, but let's just see what that sounds like. Simple question. It is a simple... That sounds fine. Now, I don't even know if you guys can hear this. Hopefully you can. Living in Alaska, what are the two different audio sources you use to record that? So I should have said that. So the video portion was my iPhone 16 Pro Max. So that also captured audio. And then the other one was my DJI mic with the onboard mic. I always press record on that. Now, actually, having said that, but yeah, no, anyway, that's what I recorded. So the good audio is processed, okay, because I ran it through Adobe Audition, and there's some things I do to make it sound better. I'm not going to get into that today, but yeah, so that's what I used. So now that this is synced up, I am going to snap the beginning here. I'm going to basically chop off the ends so they do snap together. Okay, like that. And let's go to the end. I'll bring this back here and this here. They snap there. So now they're kind of locked together. This is the video portion. This is the audio that I want to keep. So next step is I'm going to remove the audio from the video portion. So I'll right click and I'll click silence audio. Again, with your video editing program, it might be a different way, but now we have this. Okay, so there we go. Time for a drink. Why two sources? Because the other source sounds better. There's two things I do. When I record, okay, I plug my DJI mic into my phone, okay, so the receiver. And then the mic part, okay, so this is the receiver. That plugs into my phone, USB-C. And then this is the microphone that I put here. This will send the audio to my phone, okay? But the thing is, I then do some massaging to the sound to make it sound even better than this does. I do that in Adobe Audition. So I wind up with an audio file that's separated from the video file that I have enhanced. Okay? Then I bring that back into my video editing software, and I want to sync it up and then remove the original audio and just keep the enhanced audio. Okay? Another reason for doing it this way is if you did not put this into your phone and only used this and you recorded onto this, because this has a hard drive on it, or an SSD drive, you can record directly onto this, and then there's a little USB-C port here. You can plug that into your computer and transfer the audio file, okay? If I did that, then my iPhone would not have picked this up. It would have recorded from the iPhone mic, okay? So that's one source. This is a better source. Then I may also enhance this again, and I'll bring those, the iPhone video with the mic, the iPhone mic, that would be brought in, and I'd have to sync this up to it, okay? I guess the short answer is I do this because I want the best audio possible, right? So I want to make the audio sound better. So it might be a step that you don't have to take if you're totally fine with the audio that you get out of your phone or out of your mic that's attached to your phone. Then you don't have to go through that step that I just showed you. And actually, what I just showed you is not. That wasn't even the point of what I wanted to show you today, anyways. I just kind of started over from the beginning. So there you go. Okay, so let's get back to this. So I am going to double click this. I'm going to bring this back to the beginning. Let's just drag these down to the bottom. Okay, and there's the video. Now, the next thing I do, now there's 3 specific things I want to show you. Okay, what I think is the perfect cut. Okay, so at its core, video editing involves making cuts and deleting stuff you don't want, and then kind of squishing it together. I mean, that's basically the first pass that you do when you are editing a video. You want to make sure the story flows, and then whatever your message is in the video, you want that to kind of flow all the way through. So cut out what you don't want, and then you're just left with what you do want. Then once you're left with that, then you can start adding some bells and whistles if you want. Add some text, add some transitions, add whatever, music, sound effects, all that stuff, if you want, okay? But just sticking with the basics here, how come you have the footage starting so late? I don't know what you mean by that. Never mind, okay? No problem. All right, so, yeah, maybe because, the good part of the footage starts here, so 2 minutes and 52 seconds in, because I was messing up in the beginning. So, and let's just play this again. No, this is not OBS. This is Camtasia, what I'm using here. Can somebody I'm going to press play here. Can somebody let me know if you can hear the audio? YouTube videos be? I wish I could give you a simple answer because it's a simple question, but there's a lot that kind of goes into it. I'm going to try to keep this short. Could you hear that audio? Nope. No. Okay. Barely. Okay, how am I going to do this? We can, but it's faint. If I turn my volume up, maybe you could hear it through the speakers, but there might be a echo. I wish I could give you a simple answer because it's a simple question, but there's a lot that can... Could you hear that? I can hear it through my AirPods. I got a thumbs up. This is fine. Okay. Do you edit the live streams before you post them as past streams? No, I don't. I just leave them all up there raw. I fixed it. Okay, perfect. All right, there might be a slight echo of me though, just because I have my volume turned up a little louder. So, okay, so let's go through this. The first edit I want to share with you is what I call the perfect cut. So let's just go ahead and make our cuts first of all. Let's just listen to this. Oh, that's when I just started it. How long should your videos be? No, don't want to keep that. How long should your... let's just go to the... I think I want to start here. How long should your YouTube videos be? Yes, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in, make sure I start this. So now I'm finding the start position of my video. I don't want to, I guess I want to think about how I want this to start. Do I want to start looking off to the side like that? Probably not. Probably right before I started talking, like right there. Okay, I'm going to cut that.
How long?
Okay, I'm going to start it there. So now with this part, I'm just going to highlight this and drag it to the end because I may make bloopers out of that. Okay, I may not. Okay, so now I've got this at the beginning. I'm going to press Shift and drag this back. This is now the beginning of my video. I'm going to zoom in. Now let's find out where we want to make cuts. So making cuts is, it's very important that your intro is delivered tight. What I mean by that is you want to, like if there's any ums and ahs, you may want to get rid of those. I guess it depends on your style, but generally speaking, the first 15 to say 30 seconds or so is so important for keeping people engaged, right? If you don't hook them in the first little bit of your video, the first several seconds of your video, they may bounce, they may leave, and that's it. So it's very important. So because of that, if I do any editing, it's in the intro, in the beginning of the video first, okay? Even if I do like a raw video where I hardly do any edits all the way through, most of my edits would be at the beginning, all right? All right, so what's this? My brain is using DaVinci Resolve as a professional editor. I am like, where is this or that? Yeah, I've used DaVinci Resolve. This is not that. I'm using Camtasia, that's right. YouTube needs to bring back the dislike count. I've got 1 dislike so far today. Woohoo! Camtasia edits also. Yes, that's what we're doing. This is Camtasia. Camtasia is, that's all it is. Well, yeah, it's a screen recorder, but I don't use it to record my screens. I just use OBS to record my screens. I find it easier. And I use Camtasia to edit. All right, so let's get back here. Let's find out where we want to make our next edit, and then I'll show you the perfect cut.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex. There are some things you need to think about to answer that for yourself.
Okay, so several pauses in there. Maybe this one here.
But the answer is a little more complex.
Okay, but
it is a simple question, but
I can cut out.
Simple question, but the answer is.
But the answer, okay, so I want to cut out.
Question, but.
Right there, but, so I'm going to make a cut there.
The answer.
So I want to cut out that it's. So now, here is where I'm going to show you the perfect cut. I want to cut this little section out here, okay? So I could cut it here. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Delete that, and I'm going to bring this back. Now let's just watch this.
Simple question, but the answer is a little more.
I think that's a horrible cut. Okay, this is what I'm talking about as the perfect cut. If you're ever going to make a cut like that in the middle of a sentence, it's most important to make the cut nearest where the new part is starting. Okay, so what I mean by that is I should make the cut here, like right before I'm starting to say something. Like I would never make a cut like right in the middle here and leave all this empty space, okay? And I would not make a cut at the end of something, close to something, really close to, you know, what I'm cutting, the end of what I'm cutting. I don't know if I'm explaining this right. That's why I think visually this might help. It'd be much better if the cut was over here and not over here. Okay, so let me just cut this now. We'll delete that. Now I could stretch this out to fill it back in, but again, I wanted to cut that out. So I did have to cut this one back there. Now I'm going to cut this one tighter to where I'm going to start speaking. So let's bring this back, tighten that up, and now see what it looks like.
Simple question, but the answer is a little more complex.
Okay.
It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex.
So the reason why I think that's a much better cut, to cut out all the empty space before you know, in the second half, right? The second half, the second clip that's going to make up your clip, you want that to start right as you're speaking, because I think there's nothing. Well, I shouldn't say there's nothing worse, but I just don't think it looks or feels very professional if you're watching a video and then there's a cut and then right after the cut, the person is just kind of staring at the camera for us, even if it's just a split second before they start speaking again. People will notice that cut a whole lot easier, right? It's just obvious that there's a cut. Now, there's a couple of other things we could do to kind of hide that, but this is the number one thing. Make the cut very close to where you're starting to speak, in the second half. And we can do that again here.
Think about to answer that for yourself.
So if I wanted to cut this section out, again,
to answer that for yourself,
I definitely want to make a cut right here. If I want to tighten that, well, if I want to tighten it up, I need to cut them both tight, okay? So maybe this one's not a very good example because there's no choice. So let's just watch this.
Question, but the answer is a little more complex. There are some things you need to think about to answer that for yourself. It is different for everybody, and it depends on what kind of videos you make. It depends.
Okay, so I think that ran a little bit more smoothly. Let's just look at the beginning. I see there's a big space here.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question.
If I want to delete that pause, there's a trick I want to show you here. This is my method number 2, or the second way to kind of hide a cut. Let me zoom in.
How long should your YouTube videos be?
Right there. I'll cut it there.
Sounds.
What's that little thing there?
Sounds.
That's just the sound of my lips, I think, so I don't need to keep that. So I'll cut it there. And I'll tighten this up. Now let's listen to that.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex.
Okay, so you see how it kind of jumps like that? The story is starting to sound better, right? It flows a little bit better with no pauses, okay? But if you further wanted to hide this, another thing you can do is you can cut in or cut out. And what I mean by that is the scale, okay? You can cut in, which means basically zoom in, but it doesn't have to be a zoom. It's more of a cut, okay? So every time there is a switch from one clip to another clip, like right here, and then right here, right? If you could also change the scale, okay, and I'll show you what I mean. So this one here, and we can come up here to properties, and again, on your video editor, it might be located somewhere else, but here I can see the scale is 100%, and if I changed that, this is what happens, okay? Right, you can change it or you can type in a number. If I just typed 100 in there again, that just fills the screen because I have my project set up as a 4K project, and this is a 4K video, so it fills it. But if I made this, say, 115%, right, it cuts in. Or actually, no, that was the first clip. So it starts off tight and then cuts out. Okay, so watch.
Should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question.
Okay, that tends to hide cuts a little bit better if you vary that. You don't want to do it too much, but, and you can vary the way you do it. It's a good idea to maybe cut in if you want people to kind of lean in and there's something really important you want to say. Okay, so in fact, I'm not going to cut in with that first one, so I just went Control-Z to back that up. I want to cut in with the second clip.
Videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex.
Okay, so this one here, I'm going to punch in is another way people call it. So let's go 120 even more. Okay.
Videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex. There are some things you need to think about to answer that for yourself.
Okay, so that's another way. Cut in or cut out. Something else you can do, which I don't tend to do a lot of, but you can do like a slow zoom throughout a clip. Okay. Now this is where it might be a little bit different how I do it in Camtasia versus how you do it in CapCut or Descript or DaVinci or Premiere Pro, Final Cut Pro, whatever you use, iMovie. But let's say for this one here, now let me think about this. How do I want to do this? Starting there, and then we punched in, came back out, and then maybe this part here.
To answer that for yourself. How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the...
Actually, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to back that up so we're all at 100% again. I'm going to do something a little bit different here. This is something else you can do. Instead of a punch in, you can do a zoom in. Okay, so let me bring down an animation, custom animation. We can drag that animation arrow onto the screen. So you can change the properties from the beginning of the arrow to the end. Okay, and I want to do a slow zoom in. So with the cursor at the end, I'm going to change this to 120%. Okay, so that means it's going to slowly change. Okay, so this is the effect, and I can make that happen over the entire clip. So what we get is this.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question.
Okay, so that was like a zoom in. That's one thing you can do. If you want it to happen faster, which I often like to do if I really want to get in somebody's face, like, listen to this, this is important. And I might even pick something greater than 120, maybe 130. Okay, and maybe I don't like the way I'm not centered, so maybe I want it. Okay, no, I have to turn off canvas snapping. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so I can decide where, there, I'm centered there. Okay, so now this is what this would look like.
How long?
That happened too quick. Whoops. Here, let me fill this out again. There we go. Now watch this.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like...
Okay, just see what happened there? I can right click and change the easing. That's an auto. Okay. Apologies if I get a little bit too much of the weeds here, but just wanted to show you what is all possible.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question.
Okay, something else you can do here, if we brought another animation on here, maybe we even start here, zoomed in a little bit. Let's go to 120. And maybe at the end, we only come back to 110. Okay, and let's make that happen over the life of the clip. I'm going to right click, easing, I'm going to change that to none so it happens linearly. Let's see what we have now.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question. It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex.
Okay, and then at the end there, maybe I wanted to bump that into 120. Okay.
It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex. There are some things you need to think about to answer that for yourself. It is different for everyone.
Okay, so anyway, let me just check the chat, see if there's any questions there. But those are some things. There's one other one that I wanted to show you too in this demonstration, but just checking to see if there's any questions. Let's see. Oh, you guys just chatting with yourself. That's cool. I love it. Let's see. Oh, I often need to cut a sliver of time after I do my cut, but have an unwanted syllable still there. Then just can't get it to cut a right spot. Would slowing down everything work? Not so much slowing down, but zooming in. You want to zoom in as far as you can. So
to answer that for yourself.
So the more you zoom in, so that's zoomed way in here. I can make this larger.
To answer that for yourself.
Okay, like then you can get a little more precise with your cuts. You can cut on like that's one frame, another frame, 3 frames. Okay, you can cut on a frame by frame basis. Again, that probably depends on what video editing software you use, but that's what I would have a look at with your software. How far in can you zoom? Because that makes it a whole lot easier to get really precise. Okay. And I'm always zooming in and out, bouncing back and forth, depending on what I'm doing. I may do a bunch of rough cuts at first, zoomed out like this. But if I want to get right in there and just kind of dial it right in, then I zoom way in, and it makes it easier. All right. You're using Apple iMovie. Very good. I haven't used that, but I'm sure you can do that. I'm positive you can zoom in with iMovie. Hey Nicola, how you doing? Good to see you here. Mohit is here too. How you doing, Mohit? Jim over 30. Bushveld Boet, how are you? Hey. Belgian tuber. I do shoot in log, but with the Pocket 3, it's just not necessary in the conditions I shoot in. Very good. Yeah, I don't. I just shoot regular. I do a little bit of color grading here in Camtasia, and I can show you what I do. It's very, very simple. Actually, I always do that before I make my cuts. Otherwise, I have to do it to all the clips. So for instance, here, I would bring this color adjustment down like this, and I don't know why it always defaults to black and white like this, but if I reset these three things to 0, it goes back to normal. So brightness, contrast, and saturation back to 0. And I usually, what is it, minus 524? Yeah, it's in my head. I always do it the same way. I go minus 6 on the brightness, and then 5 on the contrast, and 24 on the brightness, or on the saturation. There, that's what I usually do. And then you can see the difference that made with this toggle here. Everything I just did with the color adjustment, I can toggle it off. So that's before I make my adjustments. That's after. And I get a lot of people saying they like the picture quality of my iPhone, but I do this little bit of, you know, I don't know if you would call that color grading or color correction, or just, you know, small enhancements, basically, is all I do. All right, so that's what I do. But now see, I did it there, but that doesn't take effect over here. I didn't do it to these ones, right? So I'm just going to X that out, actually, just so I don't complicate things. Let's see, Ron, how you doing, Ron? Just discovered your channel this week, and I've been trying to catch up on everything you're doing. Many thanks for your content. All right, you only have about 350 videos to watch then. No problem. You can whip those off in a week. Good luck with that. No, seriously, any questions you have, feel free to drop in. I do this every week. I go live like this every week. I haven't been doing demonstrations like this much lately, as in for a few months. But I think I want to get back into this. I really enjoy the chat that we always do on Tuesdays, but I'm going to try to do more of that, kind of save that towards the end, like the last half of these live streams, which I'm also trying to limit to 2 hours as well. I've done 3-hour ones, and they just knock me out. So we're going to try to limit this one to 2 hours. So another hour and 15 minutes to go. Super helpful. No problem, Lucy. Good to see you here, Lucy. Jennifer has a question. When adding music to your video, what music service do you use? I use Epidemic Sound, and I have a link below with a coupon code that'll give you a discount if you're interested. And I can show you what I do, because that's something I was going to show as part of this demonstration as well. 2 things I want to show you about Epidemic Sound that I would do. But before I get there, there's one more edit, one more cut that I want to show you. Now I just have to find an appropriate place to do it. I don't know if this is even a good example, because I did make a lot of mistakes here.
And it depends on what kind of videos you make. It depends on your audience and how much time they have. Actually,
that might be a good spot to show you. That right? I'm going to cut that out. All right, so...
And how much time they have.
I'm going to cut it there.
Actually, that is what I think you need to think about.
I'm going to cut out the actually as well. I'm going to cut out everything from here.
Actually...
I'm going to cut that actually out as well. So this is good. This is what I want to show you. So let's zoom in, make sure we get it.
And how much time they have.
Right there. So we'll cut both those. Now, I'm always cutting 2 things at once. I could have grouped these together, so I only have to cut one thing. This is just the way I've always done it. Like with video editing, there's so many different ways to do things. You'll find your way that works for you.
Actually.
Right there. Actually. You know what? No, for this demonstration, I can't cut that out because I need some play on either side. So I'm going to leave the actually in for now. I'm going to cut it right here. Okay, so I'm going to cut out the and put this together.
On your audience and how much time they have. Actually, that is what I think you need to think about first. That's
okay.
How much time they have.
Now, what I want to show you is a J cut. Okay, you ever heard of a J and an L cut? And this is also why I put the audio on the bottom, because then a J kind of makes sense. A J cut is if the video keeps going, but the audio changes. Okay, so right here, this is just a straight cut. Okay, both video and audio were cut at the same time. But if I cut the audio first, so here, let's create some space here. If I cut the audio first, but I let the video continue for a time, let's bring the audio back like this, that is a J cut. And the reason it's a J cut is because if you look, the shape here of that the cuts make, down and over to the left, that's a J, down and over to the left. If it went the other way, that's an L cut. Okay, so now let's just listen to this or watch this, see what we have.
And how much time they have. Actually,
okay, there was something I wanted. That, you hear that little blip right here? I got to get rid of that. I can't have it go there. So not a great example of this, but so let's just drag this back like that, and then we'll tighten this up. Okay.
And they have. Actually, that is audience and how much time they have. Actually, that is.
No, I didn't do this. Here, let's Control Z back. I'm trying to think of the best way to show this to you. Okay, starting over. Boom, boom. Okay, we'll make the cut there. And I want the audio for sure to start up there. So we'll cut this, delete that, bring this all the way back. So the audio is going to work. And the video would too.
How much time they have. Actually, that is what I think you need to think about.
So maybe the actually, I'll just, so let's bring this back to here. So let's bring the video. So I'm going to have the video change after I say actually. Okay? This is the effect you get. And this is a J cut.
Audience and how much time they have. Actually, that is what I.
Okay? Okay, maybe even.
Actually, that is what I.
And you can decide how late you want to go before you bring the video back in, the new video. So this is a longer J cut.
Your audience and how much time they have. Actually, that is what I think you need to.
Okay, I don't think it works if I've already started moving my mouth for the next thing. Right here. So that's probably as far as I want to go.
Audience and how much time they have. Actually, that is what I think you need to think about first. That's what I think about.
Okay, there's a J cut. Or yeah, J cut. I always have to think of the actual letters. I mean that's only to describe it to other people. That's another kind of clever way. And it works if you're switching scenes, right? Like if that cut happened and there were two completely separate scenes that you're showing, that's a clever way to do it too. Okay, so yeah, there you go. That's the J cut. Keep video, but the new audio starts early before the video catches up, is basically what that is. So again, what I talked about here, just to summarize, the perfect cut, which is closer to the second clip. Okay, you want the second. You don't want to switch to a second clip and then have there be any dead space at all. You want the person to be speaking right away. We can see another one right here.
Is my audience, my viewers, the people who are what?
The people who are so. The people so. So if I want to cut that out, or maybe I wanted to cut this whole section out here.
And how much time they have. Actually, that is what I think you need to think about first. That's what I think about, is my audience, my viewers.
Maybe I want to cut all that out. Okay, so let's just cut all that out and bring this back. Now, I purposely did not make this cut very good. This is an example of a cut that I do not think is perfect. So watch.
Audience and how much time they have. The people who are watching my.
Okay, so the cut happened and then I drew a breath in. Okay, so I would instead go right up to right before I started speaking, and I would cut that out. Okay, I think it's so important to do it that way.
Ends on.
And if you want space between the two things that you're saying, you know, put it at the end of the first one, if you can. Like I would put it here, and I can. There is space.
Audience and how much time they have. The people who are watching my videos.
Okay, that actually could be even tighter.
The people.
So this is the right here.
The people.
Okay, so I would actually cut it. That's too close right there. I'd cut that. Now we'll zoom back out to see this.
How much time they have. The people who are watching my videos.
Okay, this actually is a good place where I'd probably use a J cut too. Or if I didn't want that much of a, a pause, I can cut more of it out and bring it back.
And how much time they have. The people who are watching my videos.
Okay, or if I want to turn this into a J cut, again, I would tighten the audio right up like this. Bring these two together, but delay the video, right? And you just have to play with this a little bit to see what works best.
And how much time they have. The people who are watching my videos. The people who are watching.
Okay, I want to switch back before I started speaking in the visual part.
And how much time they have. The people who are watching my videos.
Okay, J cut. All right. Thoughts on that? What do you think? Take a little break and I'll see if there were any questions that I missed. Hey, Barb. Good to see you, Barb. Barb is here. Matthew Allen. Hello, Matthew. Good to see you. BJB Edits. Takes me 20 to 30 minutes to edit, but that's because I make shorts. Very good. Yeah. This editing that I'm showing you guys, well, actually, I can show you. Why don't I show you the full file of this? Where is it? I'll show you the finished product of the video that, and then I'll get into Epidemic Sound. I almost forgot. But this is the actual video that I posted to YouTube. Okay, and you can see all the cuts that I had.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a simple question.
I left that pause in.
It is a simple question, but the answer is a little more complex. There are some things you need to think of.
Now, everything I just told you here and demonstrated, I hardly used any of those when I did this. These were all, if I recall correctly, they were all straight cuts, but I just tightened up the audio in places. Actually in a fair amount of places. You can see all the different clips, okay? And I did not do bloopers.
You're welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're...
But I did add music, and that's what that is down there. Okay. So let me close that. Let's come back here. I wanted to show you quickly Epidemic Sound. And to do that, let's bring down this. And we'll just go Epidemic Sound. We will go... let's see. Oh, I want to show you like a sound effect. Whoosh. Okay, actually it would help if I click sound effect first. A whoosh sound effect. Then you can listen to them. Okay. That's not so bad. Maybe the first one there. So then you can download it. I'm going to download that one. Download in WAV format. Okay. I did that. And then what I wanted to show you, let's zoom into the beginning again that I was working on.
How long should you...
And let's bring the, let's go back to demo here. Now, you're not going to see me do this, but I'm just locating that file I just downloaded, and I'll drag it down here so you can see it. There it is there. ES, short, high, Epidemic Sound, high frequency throws. ES is Epidemic Sound. So that is the file. So I can just click that and drag it in here. Okay. And there are both of them. Okay.
There are some things you need to think about to answer.
Okay, I think I like the first one, so I'll just cut this off here and delete the second one. And I wanted to add that whoosh at the beginning while I was zooming in. Okay, this little arrow, remember that arrow?
How long should...
Okay, that is way too aggressive, so I can turn down the volume of the whoosh like this. I can delay it so it happens a little earlier, or not delay it, make it happen earlier. See if that works.
How long should your YouTube...
Not bad, maybe a little too loud yet. Drag it down, 18%.
How long should your YouTube...
Okay, there you go, done. Done with that. Now, if we bring... Oh, did you guys tell me? I'm sorry. Rob, we can't see it. Duh, sorry, Rob. All right, you know what? Back up. Let's back up. I'm sorry, guys. See, this is why I need 3 eyes. I need 2 to watch what I'm doing and a third one on the chat. All right, so where was I? Let me go back. I'm just going to undo what I did. So media, There's that. Let's delete it. Let's start over. All right. You can see this? Yes. All right. So here it is. No, you didn't even see the epidemic sound part. All right. No, not to worry. Let's come back in here. Here's epidemic sound. So, yeah, let's go to the home page. Epidemic sound. There we go. We go sound effects. I come in here in the search bar. I'm going to type whoosh. There we go. All kinds of choices here. Okay. All kinds there. Slower one. Okay. Actually, I might like that one better. Okay, let's download this one. Pretty deep, bassy. So click this down arrow here, and we'll download in WAV format. You guys are watching this? Yep. Okay. All right. So now let's delete this because this is the last one that I downloaded that you couldn't see me download. And I will drag the new one in that I just downloaded. Here we go. That is it. Let's click and drag it into Camtasia. Here it is. And it's got 2 whoosh sounds.
Should your YouTube videos be? Sounds like a...
Okay, we just, maybe the second one. I think I like the second one. It happens over a longer period of time. So I'm going to split this, delete the first one. And I keep looking at the chat, make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's tighten this up a little bit, like that. And now I want to use that sound effect as I'm zooming in at the very beginning with this arrow here, okay? So I'm going to place it right there and just see if that lines up okay.
How long should your YouTube video...
I think it did. If not, you know, I could shorten it like this and move it back further.
How long should your YouTube video...
That might even be better. Okay, but it's a little loud, so I can change the volume like this, drag the volume down.
How long should your YouTube videos be? Sounds
like that. There you go. Mucky Pup, good evening. Whoosh whoosh, BJB edits. All kinds of choices there, yep. Hey Karen, how you doing? Who else we got here? Poodle Professor, hello, good to see you. Rob, we can't see it. Life with Miss Donna. Sorry about that, Donna. Yeah, you can see now. To Peanut, are you lying comfortably? Then we'll begin. Yes, she is, I think. She was, yeah. She's got her back turned to me. All right, so that's that. Now, the other one I wanted to show you is music. So, and I add that at the end, okay? We're not going to do bloopers, so I can delete those. Delete the ending there, and now this video is 11 minutes long or so. Let's go back into Epidemic Sound right here. We'll click on Music. What kind of music do we want to listen to? Well, I don't know. Let's go with folk music. Let's just see what we get with that. Sounds all right. Actually, I can see what I've downloaded before. This little blue arrow, blue or green, turquoise, blue, I guess. That means I've downloaded it before. So that one and this one. Don't remember if I used that. I've downloaded ones, and I will quite often play with some music, and sometimes I download 4 or 5 and try them all out with my video to see which one fits the best, right? So I'll go through that sometimes. I don't remember if I actually ever used that one. But you know, if I like this, but maybe it's not perfect, you can come over here and click this button here. It says Find Similar. Okay, so click on that. Similar choices. Okay. That might be all right. Let's just try that one. So click this down arrow. We'll download it. There we go. Download. And it's downloaded. Is that? It's downloading. Okay. It's halfway there. 3/4. Let's move this out of the way. We don't need that anymore. It's downloaded. So let me bring my project folder back here. I always put everything I download, whether it's music or images, logos, images I've created in Canva, whatever. Anything I want to use in my videos, I always put them into my project folder for that project. Each video is its own project, okay? So in this case, they're all going in here, in this demo folder, okay? So let me bring that music down here. ES for Epidemic Sound, You Let Go, instrumental version. All right, so now let's bring it in. And I always drop it near the end of my video because that's usually what I do. I'll have music kind of fade in, music will kind of end my videos is usually what I do. You can have music throughout your video if you want, but I actually get a lot of people saying they don't like that, so I don't do it often. Sometimes I do. Now just move it out here, and now I just decide where do I want the music to start.
Even if you only make one video a month, right? Try to make it in as efficient a way as possible to get your information across, because otherwise people will find somebody else to watch. All right, I'm going to stop this video here.
Right there. That's a good place to put this. So I will zoom right in, decide where I want it to start.
To watch. All right, I'm going to stop this video here.
Okay, I think there maybe.
All right, I'm going to stop this video here. My name is Rob. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're returning, welcome back. Great to see you.
Okay, it's obviously very loud. So we can change the volume, drag it down here.
All right, I'm going to stop this video here. My name is Rob. If you're new here, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And if you're returning, welcome back. Great to see you again. So yeah, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
Okay, I will split it there, delete the end. And then just decide if I want to end it right there. Okay, I don't like an abrupt ending like that. I like to fade the music out to 0, and I can either do it right there as the video ends. Oftentimes I will fade the where is it here? Here we go. Fade the actual video like this.
How long should?
Whoop! Oh, that took me right back to the beginning. All right. Maybe I didn't want to cut the video off there. Maybe. Oh, well, that's the end of it right there. So yeah, now I play around with this to figure out how I want it to end.
I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
Okay, if I want the fade out to happen over a longer period of time, I stretch it out. Okay, and then the music, if I want it to fade out the same and take the same length of time as this video fading out, that's a different effect. That is audio effects, fade out right here. I'll drop it right there. Okay, and this is the audio of me. Now I'm not saying anything, but just to make sure, I often will drop a fade out there as well. So that is now the new ending.
I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
Okay, if I want, I can also click and drag this back to here if I want. Okay, something else some people do is they will change, put the volume of the music up higher when there's no speaking. So as soon as I stop talking,
I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
Right there. So I can right click and add an audio point there, and right click and add another one. Okay, and this here I can increase the volume of the music while I'm not talking. So let's listen.
I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
A little too abrupt. Let's have that ramping up take a little longer.
I'll see you in another video. All right, bye.
There you go. Time for a drink. What do you think? How was that? There's a great question, Jennifer. How does YouTube know that you have the rights to the music? Well, a couple things. Number one, in Epidemic Sound, you tell it what your channel name is. You enter it into your, now I don't know, can I show you this without showing all kinds of stuff I shouldn't be showing you? Like logins and stuff like that. I'm just double checking. Safe list, that's what it's called. Yeah, you have a safe list that you can enter up to 3 channels in your safe list. Okay, so there's that. But regardless, even if you don't do that, you may still get a copyright notice, but it would be by accident. Okay, because all that is done automatically. All right. But I will say this. I can't remember if I had a copyright notice through Epidemic Sound when I first started using them. I may have, but I don't remember. If you're going to get one, it'll be as you just start using them. But once you get that sorted out, it's never happened to me since. Okay? And what I mean by sorted out is YouTube provides a way for you to fight any copyright claims like that. You can say, hey, I actually have the right to do this. Here's my license with Epidemic Sound or whatever, right? Then it's fine. They'll say, oh, sorry, you're right, and then it's all good. And so if you have to go through that once, you'll probably never have to go through it again. YouTube provides you with a tool to fight those, but also Epidemic Sound helps you with that. You can go into Epidemic Sound and they have help articles that say, if this ever happens to you, like here is your response to YouTube. Copy this and paste it, and that's what you should send them, and give them your account number and all this stuff. They tell you exactly what to do, okay? And it gets sorted out. So that's why it's nice to. I was going to say that's why. I mean, you're okay if you use a paid service like that. If you use like there are other services that say it's free to use our music, okay? But sometimes it's not. And I'm thinking specifically, I have heard, not my experience, but I've heard of people telling me that they've used CapCut and they've used some of the music that they say it's free to use, but they end up getting copyright claims, okay? I have... when I was first getting into this, before I was signed up with Epidemic Sound, so I'm talking 3 years ago, or maybe 2 years ago, I was looking at, because at the time I was actually listening to just like lo-fi music in the background. That's how I work, okay? And I was thinking, it might be cool to have that kind of music in my videos. So I explored that, and I went to these YouTube channels where I would normally listen to this music from, and it would say, free to use. Okay, but what I found is it's not, it's free to use, but they want you to use that because they can then monetize your videos, right, as the owner of that music. All right, so that's how a lot of these music stations are making money, right? They'll create these lo-fi channels that you can listen to them all day long, but as soon as you start putting them into your videos for free, they want you to do that so they can make money off your videos, and then you won't be able to make money off your videos. So that's the thing you need to be on the lookout for, and I think that's what CapCut was doing. Don't quote me on that. I don't know, but I feel like that's what was going on there. So your safest bet if you want music is to use a service like Epidemic Sound, okay, where you're paying for a license that allows you to use this. And I can use Epidemic Sound music on any video I make, as many as I want, as long as I have a valid license at the time I make that video and upload it to YouTube. Okay? If I canceled my subscription today with Epidemic Sound, all the videos I've made with music that I got there are fine. Even though I made them yesterday or a month ago, they're fine forever. I bought the license to use it on those videos forever. But even though you saw me download some music and sound effects today, I can't make a new video, say, tomorrow. If I canceled my subscription today and I made a video tomorrow, I could not use the music, even though I downloaded it when I had an active subscription. I can't use that. I don't have a license for that anymore. All right, so that's how it works. So yeah, your safest bet is to use a service like that. YouTube itself does have free music you can use as well in the YouTube library. It doesn't have anywhere near the selection that a service like Epidemic Sound has. So yeah, those are your options. There are other services too. I'm an affiliate for Epidemic Sound, so that's the one I'm going to recommend you use. That's the one I've used. I used them for, I'm going to say, close to 2 years before I was an affiliate of theirs. So valid reason. But there are other ones, like Storyblocks is one. Audio with 2 eyes is another one. I don't know. There's a bunch. So there you go. My thoughts on that. That was a question in here. What volume level with music? Angela says, what volume level for talk? That's something you have to play with because it's different. Like you may record yourself, your voice at a higher volume or lower volume than I record mine, okay? And the music, some music might be louder than other music. So you really do have to, I mean, what I did here, my audio, I think that was 100%, but here I brought it down to around 23, 24%. The music while I was talking.
Thanks for stopping in, and if you're returning.
And then here I brought it back up to around 90%. Okay, so, but that's only based on that audio of me and that music from that particular piece of music. So yeah, you have to kind of play with the audio levels once you put it in. All right, no problem, Jennifer. Let's see. Let me see. All right. Well, so yeah, I'm here for another 45 minutes. So why don't I do a search on cues? See if you guys have any other questions for me. And I'm going to start from the latest one, and I'll work my way through. So Nafisa, how you doing, Nafisa? Good to see you. Question. Hi, Rob. Wait. Oh, I can click this so you guys can see it. Waste a lot of time to edit. I used Shortcut, but when I put in the video I want to edit, it convert to lower quality. It can take up to 30 minutes before editing process. Do you also convert? So I'm not exactly sure what you're talking about here. Editing does take a lot of time, and I'll also say that if you don't have a very powerful computer, it can take even longer. So video editing can be very resource intensive. So the more RAM you have, the better editing experience you'll have, and the newer the processor. So I use a MacBook M1 Pro Max is what I use. It's a 4-year-old computer, but it wasn't cheap. It was, I don't know what it was, around $2,000. MacBook Airs, you can edit on those, but you know, if you're talking about older computers, you can edit on them. It's just it might take longer. Now there are some tricks, like some editing software provides you, and maybe this is what you were referring to with shortcuts. Some editing software allows you to create a proxy video, which is basically a lower quality version of your video. And you just use that when you're editing your video, okay? And it allows you to kind of scrub through your editing process faster without it hanging up and buffering and all that stuff. But if you use that, so Camtasia has that, and I believe DaVinci Resolve has that, and all the higher end ones have that. I don't know if iMovie does, and I don't know if CapCut or Descript do. But yeah, if whatever you use does have that proxy video, the ability to use a proxy video, then that's only for the editing. Okay? When you're finished editing, and while you're editing, what you see is not going to look as good. It's using a lower quality version. But when you go to export your video or render your video, that's the act of creating the video from all the edits you made, it will pull from the original video. It won't use the proxy video. So what you'll end up with is still a high quality video. Okay? That's the way proxy videos work. So yeah, if you have a computer that's struggling to keep up with what you're asking it to do, proxy videos might help you. If not, then you need to start looking at, like, editing 4K video is a lot more intensive than editing 1080p video. Okay, so if you're having trouble, maybe it's because you're editing 4K videos. Maybe 4K videos that are an hour long, right? That can start eating up a lot of RAM. So you may need to consider, or try it anyways, try to edit a 1080p video, or try editing shorter videos to see if that makes a difference as well. Failing all that, you're into maybe looking at getting a more powerful computer, and that might not be cheap. So anyway, that's a little bit on that. I hope that helps. Silver lining. If you stop your subscription to Epidemic Sound, will the videos you did? Yep. Okay, yeah, so I answered that. yeah, you're still good. All the videos you made while you were subscribed are good forever. Yeah. Mohit has a question. I have a video that consistently is getting 500 plus views every day for the last 30 days. It's at 10,000 views now. Have you experienced videos that grow over time, almost like slow viral? Yes. Yeah, that sounds great, Mohit. That's awesome. But yeah, slow viral, I'd almost call that I mean, it's starting to, so 30 days? Maybe it's going, I would term that almost evergreen. I mean, 30 days is not very long. You can't really call it evergreen yet. But if it's a good video, sounds like it's a good video, if it's doing way better than your other videos, and you may see that continue for an extended period of time, which would be awesome, but it might also flatline, which is not awesome. But if it does continue, and even if the slope continues to increase, like if you're getting 500 views a day now, maybe in a month you'll be up to 1,000 views a day, right? And increasing. So that is showing signs of evergreen, which is awesome. That's a video that'll keep giving you views for a long period of time. So, and now what videos go evergreen? Videos that whatever you're talking about in the video is something that people are interested in, and it's not time sensitive, right? Like something, I don't know, like if you make a video on like an election that's happening like now, okay? That video might do really well now, but like a year after the election, it probably won't do well because it's done. Or anything news related, anything that's in the news. Trending topics don't tend to be evergreen content. But if you make a video showing somebody how to upload a video to YouTube, right? Unless that process changes, that would be a good candidate for a possible evergreen video. Okay. And then in terms of the number of views you're getting, like this one here, it just sounds like you had a good topic that people want to listen to. People want whatever advice you're sharing in your video, which is awesome, right? So, yep, jury's still out whether it's evergreen or not. Slow viral, I've never really heard that term, but hey, that might work too. Or viral for you, that's another term. Like, if you have 1,000 subscribers and you're getting 500 views a day on a video, like 1,000 views every 2 days, that's a viral for you video. But 1,000 views per day on a channel that has 1 million subscribers is not a viral video. In fact, that's a poorly performing video, right? So viral for you is a thing too, and that's a good thing. That's great. That's great. Whenever you have a video do exceptionally well, better than your normal videos, have a close look at it. Like try to figure out why. Why is this video doing so well? Is it something I did? Is it something I said? Is it the way I made the video? Is it the way? Is it the awesome Detroit Lions hat that I was wearing? Is that why people love the video so much? Like you try to figure it out. Is it because the video was nice and short? And then you packed a whole bunch of awesome information into a little bit of time, So, or maybe it was an awesome thumbnail and just a lot of people clicked, right? So you want to try to figure that out so that you can learn from it, and maybe try to replicate it, or it might steer you on the right path to maybe getting better at making videos that do better over time. But that said, it's also good to go through that same exercise on videos that don't do well. Try to figure out why a video is not doing well. How come no one's watching this video? It might just be the topic. People just aren't interested in that topic, or not enough people, right? That's the easiest answer. It might not be anything you've done wrong. So there you go. There you go. Steve, have you seen the statement from YouTube about ad blocker extensions? I wonder how they'll tackle that. No, I have not seen that statement, but I watched a video talking about that and kind of talking about the reduction in views that a lot of people are seeing. And to that, give me some time to kind of sort through that, to try to figure it out. I watched a video where somebody, I don't know if you guys have heard of Penguin. I had actually never heard, but the guy's got he's got like 17 million subscribers on his channel, and he's kind of comical the way he delivers his information. But he was talking about somebody else who made a video on the date was August 10th. On August 10th or 11th, like everybody took a dip in their views from desktop views, not mobile views, not tablet views, not TV views, but views from desktop computers. Everyone took a dip. I said, well, isn't that interesting? So I went and looked, and I didn't see the same dip. I have noticed a dip in all of my numbers, but across the board, not just desktop. So yeah, leave that one with me. I'm going to try to, and I'll look for that article or the statement by YouTube, and I will share my opinion once I have one. Right now, I don't have one. Let's see. Travels with Simon. Do you have any tips for attracting viewers to a live? Tried my first recently, titled "Help Me Plan My Trip to Australia," but no viewers joined. Perhaps 600 subs too soon. Well, you know what? I don't love your title. With respect. Just one second. Instead of "Help Me Plan My Trip to Australia," title it "Let Me Help You Plan Your Trip to Australia." Right? Like instead of making it about you, which it is, but that's okay, but try to help other people. Like, and just kind of flip the narrative a little bit. People, like, a stranger doesn't care about your trip to Australia. They care about theirs, the one they want to make. And if you can help them do that, then you may get viewers. So, Coffee with Rosaline. I agree. Help me. Rosaline, I think, wants to go to Australia. Scott, is it gin today, Rob, or something else in the cup? Yeah, something else. Sweet tea. You're having sweet tea? This is just, you guys know what Mio is? M-I-O? It's like flavor. It's flavor. You can squirt into your water. That's all this is. It's grape-flavored water. I'll break out the gin tomorrow in the dock party. Okay. Let's see. We have Erica. How you doing, Erica? How can I protect my unlisted live streams so they don't accidentally become public? It happened to me once when an unlisted live turned public. I've never heard of videos turning public. You have control over that. You can leave them unlisted. But I will say, if you put an unlisted video in a playlist, that's another way people can watch it. Even if a video is unlisted, if you've got it added to a playlist, it's available for people to see. It's public, essentially. Okay, so yeah, no, they shouldn't become public. I've never heard of that unless somebody else has access to your account and can change that. I don't see how that would happen. If it ever happens again, I'd do some digging, say, why is this, yeah, no, I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a video accidentally going public. That's interesting. Jay's here. How you doing, Jay? Good to see you. Have you seen weird things with your views? Apparently some aren't being registered. The other day I noticed you had more likes than views on a video that had just been posted. Related? That is a good question. What do I want to show you? Yeah, I got some thoughts. I have thoughts. I've always got some thoughts. Let me see. Let's come here. Let me share my screen so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right. So this is, let's try, this is my last video. Let's click on that. See what we got here. Okay. 2.7 thousand views, 1,300 likes. That is a pretty high ratio. So I question that. But I agree with you, Jay, that something funny goes on here. And I actually get people commenting on this in my, where am I going here? In my comments. Because I'm going to say for the last couple of weeks, last couple of weeks, I would release a video and it would start off doing well. But like it might have 2,000 views, but 3,000 likes. Like how's that possible? Okay. Now, when I checked it, it wasn't the case at all. So what I see, so for example, let's say I had 1,000 views and it showed, 1,800 likes, okay? That's what people would see on YouTube. But when someone made me aware of that, I then immediately went into my YouTube studio, and even though YouTube, like here, you guys would see that this says 2.7 thousand views. In my YouTube studio, let me go into there now, and we'll go content, and we'll go analytics for that video. Okay, it says 2.9 thousand views here, right? 29, if I hover over it, 2947. You guys can see this? So I've actually got 2,947 views for that video, but let me just refresh this page.
It is a simple question, but
turn that down. It says 2,700 here. Okay, so there's a disconnect. And I notice that it seems to be time. Now, this video, what's it getting now? It's getting 350 views every 2 days. So what's that, 175 views a day? So it looks like it's a day behind. My point is, which number is right? I would tend to think the higher number is right. So what I'm seeing in my YouTube studio, I think has a better chance of being the correct one and not the number you're seeing here, okay, of a video. But that said, if this number says 1,000, but up here it says, 1,800 likes, which I saw that it said, 1,000 and 1,800. When I went into my YouTube studio, it said 2,000 views. So the number of views that I had was still higher than the number of likes shown here. But again, I feel like the ratio was off. There was still too many likes. I don't believe there should be that many likes. And I have a theory, and I have no idea if it's correct, and I haven't even tried to see if it is correct or not, if anybody's been talking about it at all. But there's this new thing called hype. Okay, if we go here, and if we come up to audience, is that where it is? No, maybe it's reach. Where are you, hype? Hype. Engagement? Yeah, there it is. I always forget. So under engagement, it says I've got 3,000 hype points on this video. There's been 10 hypes. Okay, this is something else I'm going to make a video about. So hype is like a super like, all right, or a love, if you will. If someone loves your video, they might hype it. Okay, it's just another thing they can do. I actually haven't seen it yet. I have not seen where I can hype a video yet. I haven't really looked for it, but anyways, if you want to hype a video, great. You can only hype 3 videos a week. Okay, so keep that in mind. And you can only do it on videos belonging to channels that are small. And YouTube is defining a small channel as having between 500 and 500,000 subscribers. Okay, any channel in there, you should be able to hype a video if you really like it, but you only get 3 a week. Okay, if a channel that, like if there's a large channel and that person hypes a video, their hype carries more weight than somebody with 5 subscribers or 500 subscribers. Okay, that hype won't carry as much weight. So now, how is all this calculated? How are these weights calculated? Who knows? I don't believe they've published how they're calculated, but they are showing us how many hype points we have. All right, so that's all I know. How are they going to use this? Don't know. But I believe it's just another way for YouTube to try to figure out what is a good video and what is not. And when YouTube calls a video a good video, that just means it's a video people are watching, people are liking, people are hyping, people are commenting on, sharing. All these things are things people can do to a video to express their love or like or whatever of a video, right? And YouTube is just taking all this data in, and who knows how hypes are worth more. A hype is worth 10 likes, or who knows? Like, we don't know. So my point is, maybe those inflated like numbers that we're seeing might have something to do with your video having received hypes, maybe from larger channels. It's a theory I got. I have no idea if it kind of makes sense to me, but YouTube, I don't believe, is going to tell us. So yeah, there you go. Wrong button. There we go. There are my thoughts, Jay. I hope that helped. But yeah, I noticed that last few weeks, say 2 to 3 weeks, I've noticed that. Kinda Carnivore, I still can't see my live chat replay comments. I have watched so many setup videos and have done all the stuff. Please help. Your live chat replay comments may take up to 24 hours before they show up. And they won't show up if you did not check that box, live chat replay, before you went live. You have to make sure you do that when you set up your live stream. Again, if we come in here, if I go to my studio, well, I'm in my studio. Where do I want to go? If I go to create, go live, schedule a stream. Wait now, I want to do this here. If I want to, let's see, that, reuse settings. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Let's just back up here. Schedule stream. I usually pick one to, like one of my previous ones. Let's say this one here. Reuse the settings, right? Title, retitle it if you want, change your description if you want. But if you come down here, click next. Monetization, we'll turn that off. Done. Yeah, I know it's off. Next. Right here. This is what I want to show you. Live chat replay, live chat summary. What is that? May see an AI generated summary of that chat. Okay, interesting. Okay, it's checked. And leaderboard. So check all these. Make sure they're checked before you go live. Yeah, that's what you want to make sure you do. Because if you don't and you go live, the chat's going to work as long as you have live chat set up. But the replay won't be available when you're done. Okay, and I've done that by mistake, and there's no way to get it back. So yeah, I can't stress that enough. Make sure that's checked, and then you just might have to wait. And in my experience, the longer the live stream was, the longer it's going to take before it's available on the replay. And something else, if you notice in the description of your videos, I can go back here. So down here, oh, this is not a live though. Sorry, let me go to a live. So live, okay, that's the doc party for tomorrow. This is what we're doing now. This is last week's. So if I click on this, okay, so here, show chat replay. I can click that. I always then click live chat replay. And then let's just click in a little deeper. Okay, so now there it is. But also, what I wanted to show you is here in the description. Click more, and down at the bottom, you'll see this transcript. Transcript, show transcript. Okay, if I click on that, that shows up here. Okay, that's the entire transcript of everything that was said in the live stream. Now, how long was this one? 2 hours and 5 seconds. So everything, right? So that can be kind of handy. Like if you had a question, right, and if you think I mentioned your, or whatever, you can search on words, okay? Like for instance, if I just click here and go Command F, that brings up my search bar. I don't know, I'm gonna say Maritimer. No, it didn't, it went right through, right? You can search for that word and it's here. Here's where it's finding them. But let's go back up to transcript. Control F. I don't know, let's type in Steve and type enter right here. Steve Brock is still here. Steve, right? And then go down here, the next one, or you can just click through here. Hi, Steve. There he is, Steve. Right? So you can search for words in a transcript if you wanted to try to find something in your live stream. So why am I even saying that? That wasn't my point. My point is, the live chat replay, I'm just going to exit out, it's up here. That doesn't, what I've noticed is that tends to become available at the same time as the transcript becomes available. So what you should do, go into your live stream, like I just went into mine here, and come down here and expand your description and see if you've got a transcript section where it says show transcript. Okay? If you have that, then you should have your live chat replay as well. Okay, which could be here, live chat replay, open panel. So if I click that, it opens the panel up here. Okay, top or live. Anyways, if you don't have that, but you do have the transcript, then I suspect maybe you didn't have that box checked, unfortunately. So there you go. That's my thoughts on that. Another drink time. Got another 20 minutes with you. Hope that's all right. Hello, Heidi. See, Heidi is here. Oh, I just saw Heidi. Not a question. You have to play the replay for the chat to show. You have to play the replay for the chat to show. Oh, yes, yes. Good point. Yes, I'd never mentioned that. So yeah, if I just refresh this page and show you what I'm doing. But yeah, so sorry, let's do it again. Let's put the playhead back at the beginning. Let's refresh the page. Well, it's starting off because it's in my. Okay, so there's nothing there now. If I click here, it shows up because I had already pressed play. Yeah, so I guess I can't demonstrate that. But yeah, what Heidi said, kind of carnivore. Maybe that'll help. Press play in like scrub to later on in your live stream. Press play to make sure it's playing. Check to see if the transcript is available, and then see if you have the chat then. Hopefully you do. All right. Karen has a question. How is your live streaming course going? Are some people doing live streams for the first time? Yes, Karen, some people have already started live streaming, and that's awesome to see. Yeah, we had another, what was that, last Thursday? We had another get-together, and that, or check-in call, the September check-in call, and that link to view that, and you may not have been able to participate in that if you know, you're in New Zealand, right? So it's at the same time these lives is when we do that. So, yeah, some people are plugging right away or right along with that and going live. Some people have not yet. So people at all different stages, but it's going well. Poodle Professor, in YouTube Studio, you can insert default information that should show up in every published video, but it doesn't work on mine. Any suggestions? Yeah, I don't know why it wouldn't work. As long as you're doing it in the right place. So in my YouTube Studio, I believe it's down in Settings, Upload Defaults, right in here. It should be right in here. Put your description in there. And then whenever you upload a new video, it should populate. It should, and then you can modify it if you want. But if it's not working for you, I would contact YouTube. But that's where you do it, anyways. So maybe you weren't doing it in the right place. I don't know. Okay. How do you come up with better titles? How about thumbnails? If you want to get better titles and thumbnails than what you have now, it's just something you have to work on. The thumbnails is just kind of something you have to work on and just try to get better with over time. The titles, you can lean on ChatGPT or AI to help you with that. That's what I do. I usually try to come up with an idea myself to get started with, and I'll go to ChatGPT, like, I'm making a video. This is the title that I'm thinking about, but I don't love it. Can you give me 10 other suggestions? And you can feed it more information about your video if you want, if that might help. And it might give you suggestions then. And you can even tell it what kind of titles you want. You might want to say, I want people to be curious. I want people to want to click this, right? So give me some suggestions, and it'll give you suggestions. So, and actually, one really cool feature that YouTube is coming out with, I don't know if it's available yet, but again, this is, once I get back into video making mode, this is one of my next 2 videos I'm going to be making. And that is on all the new features coming out with YouTube. Not only are you going to be able to A/B test thumbnails, which you've been able to do now for a while, but A/B testing titles too, which I am super excited about. Because quite often it's the title where I get hung up. What's better, this one or that one? And you have to pick one. You can change it if you want, but right? So, but the ability to A/B test titles, I think, is going to be huge. So, there you go. ChatGPT. Steve says, Rob, after Robin's Live, you guys looked at my titles and thumbnails and told me to be more negative. Well, I did on my latest video, and it's ranking 1 of 10. This is exciting. I'm good at negative. I don't know if you want to broadcast that, Steve. I've got negative licked. Awesome. I'm glad it helped. Give you another view at it. But yeah, you know what? Negativity sells in everything, really. Like headlines, titles. Yeah. If you can be negative, that quite often helps. I learned that from Brian G. Johnson. He talks about that a lot. He's made a lot of videos on thumbnails and titling them and A/B testing. He also got me into A/B testing. I never did that before I had a chat with Brian. So I have him to thank for that. But yeah, negativity. There you go. Try that. Who was it that had the question? Marius. You might want to try that. Maybe try to even tell ChatGPT, okay, I like this title so far, but can you make it negative? I want to scare people, right? You could do that. Like, I want people to feel scared, like, oh man, I need to click and learn this. Otherwise, something bad might happen, right? Yeah, that might be exaggerating a bit, but you get the idea. Kayla V, nah, I'm going to create content. I would like to put out positivity. Good for you. I think that's admirable. It's unfortunate that negativity tends to sell and work better, but you can make a positive video, but the title be negative. I don't know. It's a personal preference too, right? Like make sure you do this or this might happen. And then, but once they get into the video, it's all positive, right? You could do it that way. Just another idea. Heidi, what do you think the window of opportunity is on changing thumbnails or titles if the current one is not working? After a certain point, like weeks or months, is it too late? Yeah, so that's hard to answer because I've seen videos do nothing until 6 months later, and then they start to take off, and I've done nothing to them. Didn't change the thumbnail, didn't change the title, just all of a sudden it's starting to get views, whether it's search related or whatever. So because of that, there's really no way to predict what might be causing your video to not do well. And if it's not doing well, is it in fact the thumbnail, or is it just because people aren't interested in that topic at that time? But in terms of window of opportunity, I like to think of it this way. When you come out with a video, it's going to test, YouTube or the algorithm, whatever, is going to test it on your subscribers first, or not even just your subscribers. I think I'm starting to get away from saying it that way. It's more like the people who are interested in your content or your type of content, okay? That's who YouTube's going to test it on. So it may or may not be subscribers. Like, there may be people that watch all of my videos, for example, who are not subscribed to me. But every time I come out with a new video, it gets shown on their YouTube homepage because they watch all my videos, and YouTube knows this. So subscribing to a channel is not as important as it used to be, right? So anyways, YouTube is going to do that testing, Heidi, out of the gate, like right away. And as you've probably noticed, views start off well and tend to, okay, I'm doing that for me. So for you, mirrored, and then start to level off over time, right? And how long does it take to level off? You can kind of tell if a video is doing well or not, or if it's reaching new people. If it's not reaching anybody new, you can always change, and you can tell that. You can go into your analytics and see if you're getting new viewers or if it's just subscribers viewing, right? So I would look at those graphs to see if the testing is even still going on. But you can still make changes and see if something happens. If you're going to make a change, I would document it and just write down when you made the change. But I'll tell you this, I've never made a change and then seen a difference. Okay? And for that reason, I just don't bother. I don't ever look backwards. If a video didn't do well, it's like, oh crap, I thought that one would do well. It's not. Oh well, it might later. I'm looking at the next video and I'm working on my next video I'm going to make. Okay? You could drive yourself crazy if you always look back and try, what can I do to all my videos to make them better and to, start them, maybe get them tested again by YouTube. So, I have not had success doing that, so I don't do it. I just feel like, because, okay, how about this? If you go around and you say change titles and thumbnails for 10 videos, maybe that takes you, I don't know, an afternoon or something, time, and you may or may not see a difference, right? YouTube probably already did test the videos and know if, people liked it or not. They may already know that, not a lot of people watch this, so we're not going to push it that much. So, I don't feel like changes after the fact can help it at that point. I feel like my time is better spent. Like if in a half a day, the time that it would take to change titles and thumbnails for 10 or 20 videos, in that time, I could make another video and post that and get 1,000 views, right? Or 2,000 or whatever, right? A new video that's getting tested, right? That's, a lot of views early on, and I could post that tomorrow, right? So that's the way I look at it. Look forward, not back. Not to say it wouldn't work, but I have not seen evidence that suggests that it does. All right, there you go. Why are my live stream analytics off? Meaning my replay upload may be up for 7 hours, but it only shows are uploaded for 2 hours. I don't quite understand your question. Maybe this, I'll give you an answer. I just don't know if it's the answer to your question. The stats you see in YouTube Studio are not current. Okay, they're generally a day behind, so it could be that, right? So you're not going to see your live stats until later. All right. So and lives tend to be odd too, because sometimes you'll see live, like your YouTube Studio on your phone will show something different than what you see on your computer, right? And that'll be totally different than what other people see if they just go to YouTube. Okay. So I talked a little bit about this earlier today. What's right? Where can I go to see the exact correct view counts, watch time hour counts, and all this stuff? And there's really no answer to that, because who knows what's right? Only YouTube knows. And in fact, what's correct changes. Like views, and I've noticed this, views, watch hours, all that stuff, they don't get locked in for several days, really. And you'll notice this once you get monetized, if you track that. But like at the end of a month, like I probably do this way more than I should, but like almost daily, I will go in and I will update my spreadsheet. How many views do I have this month, right? And on the last month of the day, so the next morning, I'll write in, okay, so for August, I had this many views. Great. And this is now September 1st, and all the data presumably is in. But if I go back a month later and see and compare what I wrote into my spreadsheet, and if I go back to YouTube Studio and see, okay, what were the numbers for August? They're different. And it's usually the number I entered in initially is going to be higher. They revise them down. And I believe the reason for that is YouTube is constantly fighting against like dummy accounts, robot accounts, people who are abusing accounts, right? So, YouTube is constantly dealing with all this stuff and deleting problem accounts, whether they're bots or people breaking the rules or dummy accounts, whatever. They're deleting. So if YouTube deletes accounts like that, also deleted with those accounts would be any views that were associated with those accounts. If any of those accounts viewed your videos, those views are gone. Those watch hours are gone. Those subscribers, if they subscribe to you, gone, right? So that's why over time, these stats all tend to be revised down. It's not YouTube stealing views or anything like that. A lot of people I notice in the comments, they're very skeptical of YouTube. It's like, oh, they're shady. They're not giving us the straight goods. How come my views are changing all the time? That's all it is. That's all it is. There's no. I mean, you have to understand how big YouTube is. It's huge. And I forget. I mean, I made a video where I talked about how many hours of content are being uploaded every minute. Like it's just insane. And that's why they have these kilometers long data centers to house all these computers that store all these videos you and I are uploading all the time. So, a lot of this stuff is like deleting these accounts and stuff. A lot of it is automatic. There'd be appeals processes in place for people's accounts who get deleted, by accident, or maybe the rules weren't whatever, right? A lot of it is done automatically because it has to be, because otherwise YouTube would need probably, I don't know, like what would they need? 10 billion people working for them? Well, there's not that many people in the world. So they need help by means of computers to deal with all this data. All right. What if you don't have a lot of interesting things going on in your life to share with people? You can find something, Marius. You can find something. If you want to make videos, you'll find something to make videos about. It's got to be, start with something you find interesting, okay? Start with what you find interesting. Maybe brainstorm a little bit and write some things down. What are you good at? What are you interested in? What do you talk about when you're talking with your friends? What do you talk about? What can you talk about for a long time with your friends, your close friends? That might give you an idea as to what you might want to base a channel around. Alrighty. We're almost at time. All right. Matt Mansolar's here. How you doing, Matt? From Florida. Rainy today. It's beautiful up here. I'm sure the sun will come back soon for you, Matt. Catherine, I set my alarm at 4:45 a.m. each Wednesday to join and have done. That's right. Wow. Yeah, you're a rock star, Catherine. That's early. That's early. Although I think I was up at 4:45 this morning too. Yeah. Here, let me do something here. Heidi says the best way to fail on YouTube is to stop posting videos. 100% correct. That's right. That is a surefire way to stop getting views. Stop getting new views. Let's see. Doing good. Thanks for asking. Hope you're doing well. I am, Matt. Thank you very much. Travel with Simon. I tried vidIQ for a while. I find ChatGPT much more useful. I do too. I use vidIQ for some things. Mostly their free stuff in the Chrome extension. I love all the stuff, all the data you can get from that, viewing other people's videos. Yeah, I use ChatGPT as well. Let's see. Balloon Guy, do you use or recommend using a service like vidIQ or TubeBuddy? I do use vidIQ. vidIQ and TubeBuddy are kind of one and the same. They're extra tools to help you do research, depending on what kind of research you want to do. I have vidIQ. I don't use it as much as I probably could because, again, like someone said, they use ChatGPT. So do I. I use ChatGPT a lot. I have to get better at it, though. I could be using it so much more effectively than I am right now. AI League. How you doing, AI League? Good to see you. Posting crap is not really helping, too. That's true. That is true. Yeah, no, that's a very good point. Like, you can't, if you want to be successful on YouTube, you can't just post whatever you want to post. Well, I mean, I know a lot of people want to do that, and I've heard a surprising number of people told me, well, I just want to make videos I want to make, and that's fine. That's well within your right. But the way AI League put it there, crappy videos. Now, when you say a crappy video, that kind of, it falls into the category of what's a crappy video, what's a good video. And again, it really comes down to, are people watching the video? That's what is the deciding factor of whether it's crappy or not. A video could be edited so well and just look beautiful, pretty, gorgeous video that transitions are just spot on, tons of sound effects, right? So you can put a week's worth of work into editing a video that is just so good. But if nobody wants, if nobody's watching it, it's not a good video. That's the bottom line. It's a crap video not even in the algorithm's mind, but in viewers' minds. If viewers aren't watching it, then the algorithm knows that, and it's not going to push the video out. So, you can't just post for the sake of posting. Say, I posted 100 videos. How come my channel's not growing? Well, it's because you weren't posting stuff that people want to watch. That's all. Que la vie, do you use scripts? I have struggled to sound natural on scripts. Yeah, I used to as well. I did use scripts. That was back before I really started to grow. It's as soon as I got away from scripting that I started to grow, because then I started to sound more natural. I didn't know this at the time. Like, don't get me wrong. It was an accident. I knew I wanted to be able to be more comfortable speaking on camera than I was. And I knew the best way to do that is to not read, because I had tried it for 3 years. I tried to write scripts, use a teleprompter. I tried it with a teleprompter. I tried it just looking at one sentence at a time and delivering it, and then one sentence and then delivering it, and then piecing it all together. My Lord, that takes a lot of time to edit that way. But I tried that. That way sounded more natural than reading from a teleprompter. I wasn't able to do that. Because think of this too. To read from a teleprompter, you have to be staring at the camera all the time, because that's where your script is, right? So you're always looking at it, and depending on what kind of lens you have, you might be right up into the like you might be close, and then if you're close, then people might see your eyes going back and forth while you read. So there's that. If you use a lens where you can stay well back, but if you sit well back, then you're going to need a bigger teleprompter because it's further away, depending on your eyesight. But anyways, let's say people can't even see your eyes moving. Okay, so let's say that's not an issue. Then the issue becomes you still have to look at the lens at the teleprompter in order to deliver the script, right? So think of it this way: when you're talking to a friend, how often are you staring at them in their eyes while you speak? You're probably not. Like if I'm not a psychologist or anything, but I'm just trying to think logically. If I'm having a conversation with a person, when they are speaking, I tend to look at them and I, appear interested, or I am interested. I don't have to appear it, right? I'm looking at them. I'm listening. When it's my turn to talk, then it's when I'll talk like this, and then if I'm looking around and then I come back to them. It's like you're explaining something, and every once in a while you go back to the eyes, right? Every once in a while it's almost like checking in on them, right? Now this is me, okay? This might not be everybody, so I recognize that. Maybe I'm the only one that talks this way, but I feel like I feel like that's kind of a natural thing. I feel like if I was staring at you and talking like this and delivering a monologue and not blinking very much, just, I don't know. I just feel like that's a little bit creepy. I don't think people talk like that generally. I think you're more apt to be looking at somebody when you're listening to them. Okay. So right there, if you want to appear natural, that means you have to look away, and now you're not looking at your script. So how can you deliver your script unless you memorize it? So anyway, that was a long explanation, but no, I don't use scripts anymore. Bullet points, okay? I will write down 3 or 4 bullet points and put it on a cue card or on a piece of paper that I'll tape on my, below my camera to the tripod, or a cue card that I take with me outside. If I have to refer to it, I will. That's all I do. In the last couple of videos I made, I didn't even do that. I just thought of the title and thought of how I wanted to start the video, and then I just talked about the topic. So it's a scary thing. Not scary. It's I don't even know what the word is. Not anxious, maybe. No. Maybe anxious in that you want to be good at it, but you don't know if you are or you're not yet. Talking to the camera, that is. Matt, yeah, a list of dance steps. Yeah, I did do that. I wrote down all the dance steps. Yeah, so if there's something, if you have a lot of information that you want to cover in a video, then you may need some notes. But I hesitate to go much farther than bullet points, because then you might get to reading, right? It's almost like you want to read a keyword or two and then, yes, okay, yeah, I want to talk about that, and then talk about it. Okay, so there you go. Makes so much sense. I'm glad it does. I think it makes sense to me, but again, I'm just trying to think logically. It might not be accurate for everybody. Like, other people might speak differently, and I just feel like if somebody is talking to me and if they're staring at me while I'm staring at them, that's just almost, it just gets, I get uncomfortable with that. And maybe that's just because I'm more introverted. I don't like, maybe not everybody's like that. I don't know. Oh, that's a good point. AI League says too many people are uploading stuff they are not interested in, but think it will make money, and it never works. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And I mean, if it doesn't, yeah, if you're making content, if you're uploading content, just chasing views, and you're only doing it for the views, and you're really not interested in what you're talking about, that's not a recipe for success. You're not going to stick with it, because there are going to come times where you're not getting the views you want. That's most of the time, by the way. Most of the time, you're not getting the views you feel like your videos deserve. I think that's true across the board. And then when you have a video do exceptionally well, in my case anyways, I'm often surprised by that. Wow, this video is doing great. Awesome. It's been 2 months since I had a video do this. Now look what this is doing. Awesome. So that's kind of the life of a creator. You spend 2 months making videos that are missing the mark all the time, not getting the views you feel like they should be getting. And then all of a sudden one will do well, right? And it's the ebbs and flows, right? That's just kind of the way it goes. Catherine, have you noticed Canva doing weird things when you drag and drop a photo to a thumbnail, for example? Weird things? No. Sometimes I have problems selecting what I want to select if it's below something else and I have to bring up the position and like move things to the front and to the back and all that stuff so I can select something. But other than that, no, I haven't noticed anything weird dragging and dropping photos. Downloading Kickstart now. Thank you. No problem. I hope it helps. Hope you enjoy. I tried something new in Shorts and views are low first 24 hours later. I'm not pleased with the video, really. Is deleting it okay if I have comments? Yeah. If you don't want that video to live on your channel, you can delete it. I wouldn't worry about the comments. But I don't generally advise people to delete videos that don't do as well as you would have liked them to do. The only reason I would have for deleting videos would be if they no longer serve your viewers. Like if they're, let's say you switched niches, you pivoted to something, now you're talking about something else in your videos, and some of your videos are just not related at all to the audience you're trying to attract, then I might delete those videos. But if your video is, targeted to the people that you're making videos for, even if it's not doing well, and even if you don't like it, I would leave it. I would leave it there. Yeah, there you go. That's what I would do. Do you record your clips in one go? Yes, I do. So that video I showed earlier today when I was showing the editing, that was one, I pressed record and I didn't hit stop until 30 minutes later. And what I ended up with was a 20-minute or so video. I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, I just delete everything at the beginning that didn't apply and everything at the end. The beginning is usually when I'm messing up, trying to get a video going, but I keep it recording through the whole thing. It's just so much easier. One thing less to worry about, because, before I did it this way, there was a couple times that I would, I'd stop it and then start it up again and start over. And, this happened one time where I thought I started the record, and then I went and I did my video, and at the end I went to hit stop, and it actually started the recording. I wasn't recording, and I had done a good copy. That is demoralizing. That's awful, an awful feeling. It's like, well, I just delivered what I thought was the perfect cut, and it was 20 minutes long, and I wasn't even recording. So the lesson I learned there is just don't ever stop it. Just record and even double check. I turn it around to check that, okay, yes, it is recording. And you guys may or may not have noticed that every once in a while in a video I make, I will check in mid-video to make sure it is recording. And I usually leave that in. And the reason I usually leave that in is because I know a lot of you who watch my videos can relate to things like that. Like, I'm not trying to make perfect videos. I'm trying to make videos that will inspire you and motivate you to make your own videos. And if I do it with some mistakes in them, then that just shows you can do that too. Make mistakes. It's okay. Some people like mistakes. It's all good. So yeah, one go. Absolutely. Hey, Rebecca, how you doing? Is it hard to leave videos that don't perform well? I agree. Oh, sorry, it's not a question. It is hard to leave videos. Yes, it is. It is, but it's okay. It's okay. I've said this many times before. I'm sure a lot of you have heard it, but I like referring to old videos even though they suck. I like telling people to go back into my channel, sort my videos by oldest first, and watch my first video. It's horrible, like from 5 years ago, 4 years ago. Horrible, but I leave it there just to show you. I mean, sometimes if I'm watching somebody's video, or say, call it doing research. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I like to see people's journeys, how they've gotten to where they're at. Okay, how old is their channel? They have 100,000 subscribers. Wow. 5 million views. Awesome. Okay, how old's their channel? It's only 3 years old? Wow. Let's go back to the beginning. What's their first video look like? Oh, it was horrible. Awesome. I can do that too. I can go from horrible to awesome in 3 years. Awesome. Right? I like that. I like trying to watch people's progress throughout, which is also why I'm not a big fan of changing thumbnails and titles of older videos. Just leave them. Just leave them. Again, as long as you're still talking to the same audience, it's okay to leave stuff there. And in my case, a lot of my older videos don't really apply to the people watching my videos now because they were editing videos on Camtasia. Now, some people do use Camtasia who watch my videos, but I would say most don't. But I still leave them there, right? A lot of people did subscribe to me from those videos, so I leave them there. Yeah, so anyway. Anyhow. All right. Oh, it's not so much about the views, but what I presented. Thanks, Rob. Okay, well, no, then you're getting into the realm of, if you didn't want to present that anymore, if you did not want to be teaching that to your current audience, then maybe that is a good reason to get rid of it. Or, actually, you know what I would do instead? I wouldn't delete it. I would just unlist it. Just unlist it, because then you can always make it public again in the future if you change your mind. Okay, so it's not so permanent if you just unlist it. Alrighty. All right. My first video is vertical, but I've left it up. Good for you. Yeah, leave it up. Nothing wrong with vertical videos. I see that a lot, actually. A lot of people's first videos, and you know what? That's how you learn. That is how you learn. You upload your video, it's like, wait a second, how come it's not horizontal? Oh yeah, I didn't hold my phone horizontal. Okay, now I will. That's how you learn, right? It's all good. It's all good. No, I don't know. Yeah, try to stare me down. You'll win. I will not win at a stare down. Make a new one better to make up for it. I go back and rewatch sometimes to remind myself of all the things I fixed. There you go. Yeah. Inspire yourself. Absolutely. Let's see. What else did I... we talked about editing tips. So for anybody who's just joining now, the first half hour or so of this today was I did a demonstration, and I went over how to do the perfect cut, so editing cut, how to add cut ins and cut outs and slow zooms with sound effects. We did that. And I explained what a J cut was, and I showed a couple different ways to make J cuts. So if you're interested in how to tighten up your editing and make your editing a little bit better, watch the first half hour of this when this is over. Don't leave now. Yeah, so there's that, and then we went through some announcements. One thing I wanted to say is, and I have a hard time saying this too, because, and I shouldn't, but I feel like I'm going back on a promise a little bit, but it's going to be, anyway, the bottom line is the dock parties that I do every second Wednesday are coming to an end. I'm going to discontinue those. Not right away, because, and I'm trying to think about the right way to wind it down, because I don't want anybody to pay for a month of joining my channel expecting those, and then all of a sudden they're gone. Okay, so there's going to be 3 more, and that's it. And so what I have to do is I have to update my video. The video, like when you click the join button, you'll see there'll be a video of me saying, yeah, there's going to be 2 of these a month, and right, but there's not. So yeah, 3 more. 1 tomorrow, and then 2 weeks from tomorrow, and then 2 weeks after that. So I think October 22nd, that'll be the last one. And that's just one of the things that's got to come off my to-do list, because I've just been getting a little bit too busy. I haven't come up with a video since almost a week, but I do plan on making another one this week, because I love making videos. I don't want that to be what ends up taking a back seat. I want to keep making videos. So there's that. I think that's it. Yeah, no, the live streaming made easy course is going well. If anybody is interested in that at all, there's a link to it down below. I was going to share this, but actually there were 3 things I was going to share. That, and that. I talked about them, but I never mentioned them. So just before I go, I'm going to wrap this up in about 5 minutes. But if anybody wants the Kickstart kit, this is what it looks like. If you click the link below, it takes you to this page. You enter your name and your email. You're going to get that kit. It's 15 pages. It'll help you get started if you want to get started on YouTube. This is where you sign up for Creators Cove. It's a free community. If anybody wants to join that, a lot of over 40 people in there getting started on YouTube, chatting back and forth and helping each other out. And I'm in there as well. Okay. Also in Creators Cove is where there are special rooms for those who, for example, anybody who joins the live streaming program that I have available right now, there's a special room. And that's also where we're going to do the meetups in Creators Cove. Okay? So, and on that note, live streaming made easy. If you click on that link below, it takes you to this page, tells you a little bit more about it. The 9 initial videos are listed here. We've got already 9 others. I can bring that down here. Here's my list, my growing list of videos that I'm going to add to this. And at least 3 or 4 of them will be added before our next check-in call, which is, I forgot the exact date, but it's mid-October. So one on StreamYard, OBS Studio, Meld Studio, Prism Live Studio, what to do and expect after a live stream, using an iPad to read comments, how to do a test live stream, what are good topics for live streaming, and how to edit your live stream with YouTube Editor. All questions people have been asking me and would like a video on. So I'm going to add those to it. Anybody who signs up now gets those for free. Price is $297. It's going up though at the end of this month. So that's enough of that. I don't love sales pitches, so just get it out of the way. Let me take one last quick look at the chat, see if I've missed anything. Mattman, how did I not already know about Creators Cove? I don't know. That's probably my fault. I don't have my website set up very well right now. Now, if you go to my website, you're going to go to that live stream made easy landing page. Yeah, so I have to fix that. Velvet Reboot, I love the Kickstart kit. Awesome. Barb, on the heels of my previous and above question about course platforms and YouTube hosting courses, do you think you want to stick with Kajabi, or are there other platforms you've been eyeing? I've heard good things about Skool, Skool, but Kajabi is more all in one. I'm not leaving Kajabi. I love Kajabi. Do I think the community aspect of Kajabi could be presented a little bit better? I do. I think Skool looks a little bit better and is a little bit more user-friendly than the Kajabi community that I use. But you could be the judge of that. If you go into Creators Cove, that's a Kajabi community. But everything else, so that's okay. I think that's okay. And it allows you to do DMs too. Like people can DM me and people can DM each other in Creators Cove. But everything else about Kajabi, I absolutely love. The funnel building system, the email campaigns, the building your client list, sales, setting up products, the checkout process. What else? The courses that I host are all hosted in Kajabi. Everything about Kajabi I love. The community aspect I wish was a little bit. I wish the user interface looked a little bit better. That's all. But I'm not switching. Erica, regarding the camera settings, should I turn off autofocus? I've noticed that the video quality seems better when it's off. I use autofocus. My concern, if I had it off, would be if I move back and forth a bit, right? Then I'm only going to be in focus in one place, right? So I leave it on. Continuous focus mode. That's what I use too. I think AF-C. I think it is continuous. Yeah. Hey Sophia, how you doing? I watched the start of the live as I wasn't home yet when it started. Awesome. All right. You know what, guys? A little bit late, but I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you found this useful. Let me know what you thought about me actually doing a demonstration and kind of getting back to that, or do you just prefer me taking questions? Because if I do demonstrations, I can't answer as many questions. But I don't know. I'm feeling like if I do just a half an hour of demonstrating something, or like a prepared topic for me to talk about, and then we do an hour and a half of Q&A, that's kind of what I'm thinking, I'm leaning towards. But whatever you guys think, I'd love to hear what you think, because I'm doing this for you too. Me and you. Doing it for all of us. So there you go. Love the question ones. You like both. Awesome. Matt Mansolar, I joined now. Awesome. Let's see. For the live sessions, I kind of like the Q&A. Demos are nice for a specific video itself. Yeah, that's a good point. Rebecca says both. Alrighty. Scott, but you can later cut this demo section into its own video. Yes, I've done that one other time before. Never too many hobbies. I like the demo. Perfect. Yeah. You know what? Same thing. When you get a bunch of people in a room and you ask a question that has two different answers to it, you're going to get a mix of answers, right? There's no way to satisfy everybody. So maybe I'll do it, 1 week I'll do a demonstration, but maybe not every week. Every once in a while, I'll throw a demonstration in there, perhaps, right? Okay. Anyway, that said, I hope you guys have a great day. Great rest of your week. Look for another video from me. I don't know when. By the end of the week, I think. I don't know. I'm aiming for Thursday or Friday. Okay, but we'll see how that goes. And Barb says, thanks, Rob. Now go for a run. I went for one this morning and yesterday morning. I'm getting back into that. Half question and half demo. Thanks and have a great day. I will. Hope you do too. All right, guys. Thank you. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.